Here's your wrestling news for February 16th, 2026. Your headlines for today include Seth Rollins back training as WrestleMania 42 rumors intensify, Finn Balor's major change sparks Judgment Day exit speculation, Finn Balor's winning streak ends before CM Punk title clash, former WWE star Cain Velasquez released from prison, disappointing update, five-time WWE champion undergoing surgery will likely miss WrestleMania, AEW fans slam the IInspiration after Brisbane debut, identity of fan flirting with Andrade at Grand Slam revealed, the Hardys confirm ongoing talks with WWE, Jey Uso responds to most overrated label, and more. Seth Rollins has been sidelined since suffering an injury at Crown Jewel last September, which ultimately required shoulder surgery. With WrestleMania 42 now just 9 weeks away, there's a notable development: Rollins is back in training. Videos circulating online show him working out in the gym, including leg exercises. What stood out to fans, however, was that he appeared to be using both arms comfortably. There was no obvious sign of favoring the surgically repaired shoulder, nor visible discomfort, an encouraging indicator given the nature of the injury. Recent reports have suggested WWE is hopeful Rollins will be ready in time for WrestleMania. At the same time, speculation has grown around him potentially being revealed as the masked attacker targeting the Vision. Considering his history with the group and the way he was written off television, the theory has gained traction among viewers. Another variable in the equation is Bron Breakker. Breakker recently underwent hernia surgery, and his status for April remains unclear. If WWE is building toward a Rollins vs. Breakker matchup at WrestleMania 42, both men would need medical clearance within a tight time frame. With Rollins back in the gym and WrestleMania fast approaching, the timing of his return could play a major role in how the card ultimately shapes up. Do you think Rollins will make it back in time for WrestleMania? And if so, who should be waiting for him? Finn Balor may have dropped a major hint about his future. At a recent WWE live event in Lubbock, Balor faced Javon Evans in what turned into more than just a standard house show match. Instead of walking out to the Judgment Day's theme, Balor surprised fans by bringing back his old entrance music, Catch Your Breath remix, the song strongly associated with his earlier babyface run on the main roster. For longtime fans, that music isn't just a throwback, it represents a completely different version of Balor, one positioned as a fan favorite rather than a villain. And it didn't end with the entrance. Balor's entire in-ring performance felt different. He fought like a fan favorite, secured the win, then lifted Evans to his feet before flashing the familiar "Too Sweet" sign. At house shows, those subtle choices are often deliberate, a quiet way to see how fans respond. All signs pointed toward a possible exit from the Judgment Day, potentially setting up a high-profile clash with Dominic Mysterio down the line. On a side note, Finn Balor's victory over Evans carried more weight than it may have initially seemed. The win marked Balor's first televised victory in 166 days. The former Universal Champion had not had his hand raised since September 1st, 2025, when he defeated Dragon Lee on Raw. From that point forward, he went on an 0-7 run on television, a stretch that had fans openly questioning his direction and role on the roster. In Lubbock, that drought officially came to an end. Do you think it's finally time for Balor to break away from the Judgment Day and turn babyface? Let us know in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Cain Velasquez is officially out on parole, and his focus appears to be far from competition. The former UFC heavyweight champion was released on February 15th, marking the end of a legal chapter that began with his 2022 arrest. Rather than discussing a return to combat sports or professional wrestling, Velasquez is turning his attention toward personal growth. Shortly after his release, Velasquez took to Instagram to share that he's considering hosting a one-day holotropic breathing seminar in the San Jose, California area. The proposed event would be a paid, limited-capacity session centered around breathwork, mental reset, stress release, and spiritual clarity. His legal troubles stem from a February 2022 incident in Santa Clara County. Authorities stated that Velasquez engaged in a high-speed chase and fired a handgun at a vehicle carrying Harry Galarte, who had been accused of seizing Velasquez's young son. During the incident, Galarte's stepfather was struck in the arm and torso, but survived. In August 2024, Velasquez pled no contest to attempted murder, felony assault with a firearm, and shooting at a motor vehicle. He received a 5-year prison sentence, but credit for time already served in custody and under house arrest made him eligible for parole in early 2026. Now free, Velasquez appears focused on healing, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and potentially helping others do the same. Do you think this signals a permanent shift away from fighting, or could Velasquez eventually step back into the spotlight in some form? Bianca Belair's long road to recovery is entering a new phase, and this time it involves surgery. On February 15th, Belair revealed via Instagram stories that she's scheduled to undergo finger surgery on February 16th. The procedure comes nearly a year after the injury that's kept her out of in-ring competition since WrestleMania 41. Belair has not wrestled since April 2025, when she competed in a triple threat match against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Championship. During a top rope sequence in that match, Ripley landed directly on Belair's hand, an impact that initially appeared minor but proved far more serious. In November, Belair clarified the extent of the damage. "So I broke my knuckle, which is not my finger. I broke my knuckle joint. It's something that I thought was going to be a very straightforward 8 to 12 weeks. It's been almost 6 months at this point." Subsequent reports indicated the finger was broken in 3 places, complicating what was originally expected to be a routine recovery. What began as an estimated 2 to 3 month absence has now stretched close to a full year. Belair did briefly return to WWE programming in the summer of 2025, serving as a special guest referee at Evolution. However, she has not competed in a match since WrestleMania 41. The decision to move forward with surgery suggests WWE and Belair are opting for a definitive solution rather than continuing conservative treatment. With WrestleMania 42 approaching, this may be an indication that Belair will most likely miss the grand event. Natalya has accomplished almost everything there is to accomplish in WWE, but according to her, something still felt unfinished. Despite championship reigns, record-setting longevity, and frequent praise labeling her as a future Hall of Famer, Natalya recently admitted she wasn't fully satisfied with her own evolution. Speaking to Wrestling Life, she reflected on what she believes she left behind. "This Natty now, I think I owed it to her to bring her to life because I had let her down. I think I'd let her down for a long time." Natalya made it clear she isn't dismissing her resume. From the outside, her career speaks for itself, but internally, she felt there was more to explore, particularly when it came to creativity and character development. "When I look at it, and it's not to say that the Natalya character hasn't done great things. Many people would say, oh, she's a first ballot Hall of Famer, she's done all this stuff, accomplished all these things in WWE and had incredible longevity. But to me, I'm the type of person who loves to build, create, and invent, and I felt very stifled." Her current shift into a darker, more aggressive, natty persona isn't being framed as a fresh start, but rather as a course correction. In her mind, it's about reviving the version of herself she believes was never fully realized. With her legacy already secure, this chapter appears less about validation and more about fulfillment. Was Natalya creatively held back during key stretches of her career, or is this reinvention arriving exactly when it needs to? Andrade added another chapter to his on-screen flirting antics at AEW Grand Slam Australia, but this time the moment came with an unexpected twist. During the February 14th event, Andrade faced Adam Page in a #1 contenders match for the AEW World Championship. In the middle of the bout, Andrade rolled out of the ring and approached a female fan seated at ringside. He posed for a selfie with her, and she kissed him on the cheek before he returned to action. Moments later, Page walked over to the same fan and also took a selfie, but stopped short of letting her kiss him, a subtle nod to his real-life marriage that drew a reaction from the crowd. After the show, it was revealed that the fan was actually Australian independent wrestler Aisha, who later confirmed her involvement on X. Aisha has competed across several promotions in Australia, including PCW, ROW, AUS, and PWA, suggesting this wasn't a random cameo. Whether it was a one-off spot for local flavor or a small breadcrumb for something bigger remains unclear. Andrade's character has leaned heavily into charisma and distraction tactics lately, and this segment fit that pattern. Was this simply a fun-in-the-moment interaction, or is Andrade's character slowly building towards something more deliberate? The IInspiration are officially all elite, but the online reaction hasn't exactly matched the celebration. Jessica McKay and Cassie Lee debuted at AEW's House Rules event in Brisbane on February 15th. After facing Frankie B and Aisha, the duo took the mic and confirmed they've signed with AEW. On paper, 2 Australian stars debuting in their home country should have been a feel-good moment. Instead, the comment section under AEW's announcement video quickly filled with debate. Some fans immediately questioned why AEW brought them in when the company already has established women's tag teams. One commenter compared them directly to Ty Conti and Anna Jay. "I can't believe this. AEW had Tay J, who are younger and better and most important, homegrown OGs in the division. Imagine building up the division only to get pushed aside by these ex-WWE wrestlers. No wonder Anna's going to WWE." Others took issue with the setting of the debut itself. Several fans argued that if AEW was going to sign them, the reveal should have taken place on a major televised event like Grand Slam rather than a live House Rules show. There were also broader criticisms aimed at Tony Khan's signing strategy. A recurring theme in the replies centered on the perception that AEW continues to add former WWE names without fully utilizing the talent already on the roster. Some fans bluntly suggested that the company needs to be more selective, especially given the limited weekly television time available. A few reactions even questioned the long-term plan, predicting the duo could fade from television within weeks if creative doesn't prioritize them, framing the move as unnecessary expansion rather than strategic growth. At the core of the backlash are familiar concerns: roster depth, screen time allocation, and whether constant additions truly elevate the division. Do you think the IInspiration are a smart addition to AEW's women's division, or is fan frustration over the roster overload justified? The Hardy Boys haven't been on WWE television in months, but according to Matt Hardy, the door is far from closed. Speaking to Metro UK, Matt and Jeff addressed their status and made it clear that while they remain full-time TNA stars, conversations with WWE are ongoing. "We're in constant negotiations with WWE about doing more stuff. We will do more with them," Matt revealed. The Hardys haven't appeared on WWE programming since losing the NXT Tag Team titles to Dark State in October 2025. Since then, they've continued their run primarily in TNA, but Matt emphasized that the working relationship between the companies and with WWE leadership remains strong. He also explained why staying in TNA with full-time makes sense for them right now. "It was very important for us to stay at TNA as opposed to becoming a WWE full-time act again. In TNA, we're going to be put in a position to succeed, and we can contribute, and we can help the company grow and be better." At this stage of their careers, positioning matters. In TNA, they see a defined role, one that allows them to contribute creatively while still competing at a high level. Matt also spoke positively about WWE officials, noting smooth communication behind the scenes. "And the relationship with WWE's been great. Anytime we've interacted with Shawn Michaels, he was absolutely awesome. Triple H, whoever, we've got along with everybody really good. I think you're going to see some more cool Hardy Boys moments in WWE before it's all said and done in 2026. No specific dates were confirmed, but the message was clear: more crossover moments are expected. For now, the Hardys remain committed to TNA, but with negotiations ongoing and relationships intact, a WWE return, even if temporary, feels more like a matter of timing than possibility. Would you like to see the Hardy Boys back on WWE TV in a bigger role this year, or is their current TNA run exactly where they belong? Jey Uso's 2025 was filled with milestones most wrestlers spend a career chasing. He won the Men's Royal Rumble, he captured the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, he later reunited with Jimmy Uso to win the World Tag Team titles. On paper, that's a defining year. But according to Wrestling Observer newsletter readers, it also came with heavy criticism. In the latest fan-voted awards, Jey was named the most overrated wrestler of 2025, a result that immediately reignited debate online. So where's the disconnect? Since early last year, Jey's become one of the company's most controversial main event players. Several of his major victories, including the Royal Rumble, his WrestleMania 41 title win, and a Raw Battle Royal triumph, were met with strong online pushback. Many critics argued those moments came at the expense of fan favorites like LA Knight. Some feel the push has leaned too heavily on the yeet catchphrase without enough visible in-ring evolution. Others believe WWE stayed the course despite clear resistance in certain online spaces. But the arena reactions tell a different story. Live crowds continue to respond loudly, his merchandise remains strong, and when Jey addressed the most overrated label on Instagram, he didn't sound rattled. "Y'all really love me." No rant, no defensive tone, just a short message, almost playful in delivery. That tension between digital opinion and arena energy isn't going away anytime soon. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.